Good morning, everyone. It is 11 o'clock, so I'm just about ready to get started. If you're new to the Moodle retreat and this is your first time coming, just a couple quick points of clarification for you so that you have an understanding. While the retreat is going on, the chat room is open, but I won't be responding directly to posts in the chat room. At the end, usually when there's time, I go back through and try to answer those chat questions that you may have. So feel free to post your questions in the chat space, but just know that I don't normally answer those while I'm building. The second thing is, as well, that all your microphones will be muted, and it'll be a forced mute once I start, which means you won't be able to unmute. So if you have any questions, just type them into the chat box and I'll do my best to get to them at the end if there's time. If not, you can always send me an email, sgennaro@yorku.ca, and I'll respond to your email. I respond to every single email. So feel free to send me your questions there if they don't get addressed or answered. Lastly, today's the third day and the final day of this Moodle retreat about how to get the template for Moodle and find its way into your new course and then start to get you set up on moving forward for your fall winter teaching. So by the end of today, we will hopefully have met all of those needs and goals that we set out in the first day: to find the template in Moodle, to take that template and restore it into our new course for fall winter, or to take that template and merge it with an existing course for the fall winter. And then how do we record a welcome message using Moodle's camera itself, or today we're going to talk about using YouTube and Camtasia. How can we use those tools? And then how can we add closed captioning underneath it, or a transcript to go along with it as well for accessibility purposes. I think that'll probably take up all of our time, but if there's more time, we'll continue to build out some more strategies for going forward and using the template and getting started. One of which I want to show you again before I finish is how to just open up that syllabus component and get your stuff into that syllabus. So those are the goals for today, and that's what we'll try and do. Before I get started, I know that the Associate Dean of Teaching and Learning, Anita Lamb, is here, and I think maybe she wants to say a few things before we get started. So Anita, if you wanted to unmute your microphone, I will unmute mine and you can go ahead. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. So I'm so pleased to see the turnout on the third day of the Moodle retreat. I hope that it's been going well. I think this is the first time I've been able to check in. I know Steve says that he won't be checking the chat, so maybe I'll help Steve out today by answering the chat questions if you have any. And I wish you all the best in your fall preparations. I'm not going to take up any more of this time. So Steve, I'll let you start your lessons for today.
Thanks so much. Thank you. And thanks for coming to help out today and to sort of oversee it and making sure that it's all going the right way. I appreciate that as well. Okay, so we are muted. You are all muted. And now we will get started and we'll begin. So I'm going to begin by sharing my screen. So let me pull my screen up, and once my screen comes up, then I can't see very much of you anymore. So at that point, I really am just deep into the whole building process. I'm just going to start to move some stuff out of the way so I can clean my desktop up so I can see what I need to. And I'm going to begin in my Moodle dashboard. So again, just a reminder, when you come to Moodle, your dashboard may look something like this. As you see on the left-hand side, I click on In Progress. It shows me the current courses that I have right now that I have access to in Moodle. You may have other ones coming forward in the future, some past ones. Maybe if there's an older course you wanted to go back and see. And sometimes if you can't see it, it's just because it's hidden. Your dashboard will look like this. Just a reminder, it can also look like this if it's in a list. See how I just changed it to a list form? It could also look like this. This is in the summary form. I like to keep mine in the card form. So find what works for you, and there you go. Now I'm going back to a hidden course because I'm not going to work with the course that I'm actually using right now. But hold on one second. I should do this first. In case this is your first time here and you haven't figured out where the template is yet that we talked about, that we keep building from, here it is right here. And you click on the link, and once you've enrolled yourself as a student, you'll be able to access it. And remember, the password is LAPS Moodle, LAPS Moodle, MOODLE, all one word, all lowercase. And you find yourself with the template. This is what we've been working off of for the last few days. When you scroll down towards the bottom, what you see is the instructions for how to install. And then here's the template itself. When you click on it, it finds its way onto your computer being downloaded. And then when you go to your new course, that's the part that you upload. Remember on day one, I showed you how to drag and drop that file in order to restore it into your course. Yeah, so there it is. That's the template. We've worked our way through it now. Hopefully we're all comfortable with it. If we're not, that's okay too. You can always send me an email. You can also go back and take a look at day one's video once that comes available next week from the Dean's office, and hopefully on the new website as well that's coming out to help us with this process of transitioning to online teaching and learning for the fall. So here's the course that we've been building, and this is the one, if you remember, you recall that we pretended was our course, and that we actually, as you can see, here is the template right here, and we put it into this course. And the way that we did that, just a quick reminder as we're going on, is I click up in the top right-hand corner, just underneath my name and my photo, there's a blue gear. It's called the actions menu, a blue flower. You click there and you scroll down to restore. That's where I clicked in order to then drag and drop the file and go through the whole process of bringing forward that template. But we've already done that, so let's keep working. I want to make sure my editing is turned on. So in the same drop box from that blue flower, that blue gear, I make sure it says turn editing on. I have it on right now, so if I click it would turn it off, just so you can see the difference. When I turn it off, there's no buttons for me to edit. When I turn it on, now I'll have buttons, the red buttons that allow me to edit. So we've already changed the name of the course, so Steve's Course for Fun, and we embedded our first video yesterday on day 2. And I click on edit, and I clicked on edit section, just walking you through what we did yesterday. And we clicked on this camera button right here to record video. And when I clicked on that, it gave me the option to just start recording. And that's what I did. And that's we decided that was the best way for us to record our introductory video, because it embedded it automatically. It didn't require any additional software or linking to anywhere else to do anything fancy, because the introductory video, if you wanted to use one here, is just a chance for you to say hi to your students. Remember what we talked about? Say your name, the name of the course, welcome the students, smile for the students. And it's more just a time to say if the course is synchronous or asynchronous. So is it live or not? And just maybe a 1 or 2 words about the types of things that they can look forward to doing in the course, but to keep it really short and more just to give an actual human connection to your students. Because for some students and in some courses, that may be all they actually see of you or the instructor for the whole course based on how things work. And so I couldn't get it to work yesterday, as you remember, because I was Zooming at the same time. So instead I pasted in a YouTube link to give us the same look. But the idea was, at the end, there's a nice little 2-minute video here. Because when I was finished recording, I just pressed stop, and then I pressed publish or accept or whatever, save, whatever the button was that came up, and then I had my little video here, which was great. And as I scrolled down, then I said, we worked through some of the other text that was on here. A reminder, the red text means it's a link that goes to somewhere else. And this is great because this is great, helpful links for our students who will be using Zoom or in Moodle, and they'll have questions. This helps them to know where to go to. And then the bolded black text was the stuff that's in the template there for you to reword and to change, and to suggestions to you for some spots where you can add additional content that's very much course specific or interspecific. And then as we scroll down, we saw our start here. We got the great book that's the policies for the course itself that the students will have to go through and read in order to then do the confirmation and take the Pledge of Academic Integrity, which then opens up the course syllabus. And so at the end today, we'll walk through that before we go. And I think that's where we'll close today. But if we scroll right down a little more, we saw the part about virtual office hours and email policy. It's just really important. I think that there's lots of information here and you can read it, but I think it's just very important that you have a nice, clear email policy for your students, and that you have a very clear description of how you will set up your virtual time for your students as well, so they know how to find you for office hours or discussion. And then whatever that is, just articulate it for your students. And so we started that. And we set up a couple things here last day, or day 2. We set up our weekly Zoom drop-in by clicking on the activity or resource and scrolling down to the second puzzle piece, not the plain puzzle piece that says external tool, not this one here, but instead scrolling down to this puzzle piece where it says Zoom. And we clicked on that and we clicked add. I'm not going to do it here. But then it gave us this nice little opportunity here, the container, the shell, the driveway. And then what we needed to do was to populate it. So to put something in the container or to put something in the driveway. And so when we clicked on it, we had to schedule a new meeting. And we came over and we scheduled a new meeting, and then we set up some meetings for us and for our course. This is the meeting we set up during day 2 of our Moodle retreat. We set up a recurring Monday morning meeting at 10 a.m. It was going to be an hour long, and it was going to allow for like a drop-in session for students, etc. And then we said, well, that's great news. And had it set up so it would record. And then when I wanted to find my recordings later, of course, I could always just come back and right here, this button here, it says cloud recordings. If I clicked on that, after the lectures were done, those recordings would appear here. Of course, none appear at this moment because this course doesn't exist and the courses or the classes haven't happened. But if they did, this is where we would find our cloud recordings. And I'm just going to pull this down for 1 second here and 1 second here. And this is what I wanted to show you as well. So when you record on Zoom and you've recorded your lecture or your meeting, when it's done, Zoom takes a few minutes if you record it to the cloud, which is how which can be a very good way of doing things. When it's done, Zoom sends you an email, and it looks like this one right here, and it tells you that your cloud recording is available. And then for the host, which is you, click here to view the recording. So if you click on this one on this link here, you'll be able to see the recording. So you don't even have to go to the Moodle page to see it. And if it's not working, and when you click on the link, you just highlight it like I did, and then you right click with your mouse, and then you can just click go to, and it will take you there. But there's this link right here. So if you have nothing to add to it, you don't need to edit it or adapt it or do anything to it, you can simply just take this link right here, and you can highlight it. We're going to right click it and select copy. And now that I've done that, I have my link that I will use to give to my students to see the lecture. And so the way that I'll do that, I'm back in my Moodle class now. On my Moodle main page, I can share that link in a couple different ways. And this is what we talked about last class. I can set up a label, so add an activity, scroll down to the bottom for the resources, select a label and click add. And then I can simply just paste my link by right-clicking my mouse, scrolling to paste, and there it is, and then hitting and then saving it. But what we discovered last time is that can be a little bit messy, and because the link didn't go red, I know that the link is not active. So instead, what we decided to do was we were going to put today's lecture. Let's say today was June 12th, because that's the day that it actually is. So instead, we're going to type in June 12th lecture recording, and then we write click here. I find click here is a very helpful piece of information for the students. And we're just going to highlight the click here, and we click the link button, this chain button right up above on the toolbar. On this is what we call a toolbar. It's got a bunch of functions for us. And then I right click my mouse and I click paste, and I create the link. And once I move over, I see that it's gone red, which means the link is live, and I saved and I returned to course. So I'm just showing you again what we did the other day, walking you through, because it's going to be helpful as we keep on moving here. And now here's my June 12th lecture recording in my label. This is what we did up here when we had the 11th and the 18th. The other thing we did is we made it as a URL, which was when we clicked add an activity or resource, and we scrolled our way down to the bottom. At the very bottom, the option was URL. And when we selected that one, then we clicked add, we put the name here. So this would be June 12th lecture. And for the URL, we right clicked and then pasted that link right into there. And then the important part here was for appearance, instead of automatic, we made it embed. We turned it to embed and click save and return to course. Now, when we scroll down here, back down to our piece, we have our URL that we just built again. When we click on it, now that Zoom lecture, it appears directly inside the Moodle for the students. So they don't have to actually go somewhere else and go to Moodle in order to see it. It's all right here, directly embedded inside. Okay, so that's sort of where we left off last day. So let's stay there and just do a few more things with Zoom if we can before I go to YouTube and I go to Camtasia. Now, when I go to, I wish I could move that. I can move that toolbar. Perfect. When I go to my Zoom homepage, so this page right here, yorku.zoom.us, Now, hopefully you've been here before, but if you haven't, that's okay. This is the main base or the home for Zoom at York. That gives us some options here. You know, download Zoom, host a meeting, join a meeting, etc. But for us, we want to come up to this red box in the top corner, the top right corner that says sign in, and click there. Because this is going to take us into our own personal Zoom space at York. So we have this space. And if you're one course, the only course I was teaching was this course here. My connection is unstable. Just waiting till it stabilizes. Okay, sorry about that. My connection stopped for a second. If you're teaching just one course like this one here, Welcome to Steve's Course for Fun, then all you need for Zoom can be found in this in the Zoom that we created, this puzzle piece. All my Zooms will all be here because I only have one course. So when I come to this little Zoom room, it shows me all my upcoming meetings. After they've happened, all my previous meetings would be here. And of course, all my cloud recordings would be here. But what about all my Zoom meetings and recordings? The more clean or efficient way maybe to get to those is to come to this page here. Like we said, we go to the home of Zoom, yorku.zoom.us. We click on sign in, and it takes us into here. And now I'm going to see all of my meetings for all of my work that's coming up. I see all my past meetings. I can schedule a new meeting here as well. But what's cool about this is down the left-hand side here, I get all my recordings. And I record always to the cloud, so all my recordings will be here. And I can do things to the recordings by clicking on it. So this is yesterday's Moodle retreat. And if I click on it, it's available here now, right here. And there is some cool things that I've been playing around with, because you'll see all kinds of stuff here. But there's the chat file, there's an audio transcript, and this is an important piece that I mean that we can download that gives us the spoken word. So it's Zoom has automatically created a transcript while I was recording. I'm going to show you how to do that now. That's the next couple clicks I'm going to show you. And then this is how I record a shared with speaker view. So when I click on it to just have a look and see what it looks like, this is what the yesterday's was like. And I'm just going to turn the volume down for a second so I don't hear myself talking back. But you'll see the transcript is right here down the right hand side. So someone was asking today about the chat messages. There's the chat messages right there, so that are also recorded. But here's also the audio transcript. So it's all here for viewing. And now the student or anybody who wants can just click the CC button, which is right here in their review. Click the CC button, and it will bring the subtitles up once I begin speaking. I'm not speaking yet, but if I was, let me just fast forward to a spot. So here we go. So my picture is recorded up in the top part, even while I'm sharing my screen. And it's also going to, while I speak, begin showing the captions on the screen itself. And they're all down the right-hand side here. And of course, this is also available for download. Now I clicked the block download. See how up there, I've been trying to turn these downloads off using Zoom, but even though I do that, it still has been downloading to my computer. I don't know if you see this down here, it still actually downloads the file. So I turn the downloads off in Zoom, but it's still downloading to my file. So I am working on sorting out why that is. Okay, let me close that there. I come back, so this is where I found that. Clicking on play lets me see it. I can download those files myself to my desktop computer if I wanted them, let's say to put them into my OneDrive, or let's say I wanted to, because then I can maybe protect them a little bit more. And in another webinar, I think maybe or another Moodle retreat will show you how to do that. Maybe coming up a little bit later, or I can just copy the link to share it. And once I've copied it, see the shareable link has been copied to the clipboard. And now if I go back to my course and I come back to my Moodle space, I'm just doing the exact same thing as before to share that link. I'm going to scroll on down. I'm going to either add to make a label or add to make a URL, and I can share that link. The other way I might share that link is to click on course announcements, and I might add a new topic to my course announcements, and I might say lecture link. And then I would do the same thing, and I would say, hi everyone, because this is an email. When you do a course announcement, it sends an email out to your entire course. So be nice. Hi everyone. Pretend you're smiling when you write the email. I always find that I write nice for emails when I pretend to smile. Even when I don't want to smile, I try and smile my way through emails. Hi everyone. Here is the lecture link. And what I always do then is type my favorite words, click here, and then I'm gonna highlight it, click the link button, right click my mouse, click paste, create link. Oh, it's turned red. I know that it works. Click post to forum and off we go. It will now be sent to all the students. I'm not going to click post to forum, as I've already told you, because I don't want my students from this course from a couple of years ago to start getting these strange emails of recordings of me on Zoom. Okay, so if I come back in here, so that's how I would copy the link and I would share it. So now, and that whole audio transcript, so the whole part of that showed up on the right-hand side and that comes across the screen, that's also available for download or for link as well. So if you wanted just the text-only component, you could download that and have that, or you could have a link of it and you could send it to a student, for example, who wanted just the audio transcript. So the question you're asking is, that's amazing. So now how do I get that and how do I do that? And so the answer is on the left-hand side here. So we have we click on recordings, and then up here, there's a button for settings, and we click on settings up to the right-hand side. Here's my mouse here, and we click on settings. And it's going to take me to a page where I'm going to be adjusting now the settings for what I record. Okay. Now, if you can't find it that way, that's okay. If we come back down the left-hand side here, if I click on settings, instead of clicking on, the first time I clicked on recording, and then I clicked on settings, and it took me to this page. But I could also just, from where I was, I could also just scroll down and click on settings, and it would also take me to this page, but I just have to make sure I click on the recording. So I want to get to recording settings, but I can get there two ways. I can go settings, then recording. I can click on settings, then recording, or I can click on recording, and then I can click on settings. Much like if I was driving to York University, I could come along Steeles and then turn on to Keele, or I could come along Keele and then turn on to Steeles. And either way, I would get to the corner of Keele and Steeles, which isn't exactly York University, although it is part of the campus. I recognize I could have probably picked a better example. Apologies. For those of you who are very astute at how the campus works. Okay, so here we are, and I'm in recordings. I'm going to click on settings. And I'm going to just, here are some options for the recording. So this is what happens when you record to the cloud. If you record to your desktop, you don't have these same options, okay? So just to be aware of that. So I record the active speaker with shared screen. I recommend this because what it means is, I talked about this, I believe, on day one, is that it means that only the person who is speaking is what we see in the recording. And that can be very valuable for student privacy, especially if all the students turn off their microphones. Then as long as there's no noise coming through their microphones and they don't type anything in the chat room, for example, then their identity is removed entirely from the recording, at least from the visible components of it. So that can be valuable. But if you wanted to have multiple people and you wanted to have the gallery view, you could do that. Of course, you just require everyone's permission to make that happen. Or you could record them all and have them all recorded separately, separate files. I don't do that. I also like to record an audio version of the file. So let's say you want to have just an audio, and you can download that in the same spot where I went to get the video. And I showed you the video just a moment ago where I clicked the link. And I showed you that we could download the transcript. There's also the option right there to download the audio. So if you wanted to make a podcast of it or put an audio only version, which might be a little bit more low tech, but wouldn't take up as much data for your students maybe to download. And maybe they want the audio version so they can listen to it while they go for a jog or a bike ride or walk the dog, or maybe they have to mow the lawn or whatever it may be. And as a result, they like to have something in their earbuds and they like to listen to a podcast. Here's the save chat messages from the meeting. So if you don't want it, you turn it off. But if you do want it, you click it on, and then in the recording screen, like I showed you a moment ago, you'll also see the chat. I add a timestamp to it because I like that. You can actually take the participants' names out just like that. So if you want, again, for added privacy for our students, you might want to, you can consider that. The other thing that I was going to say is right here, though. This is the one that we want, audio transcript. So you just want to make sure that, see how it says automatically transcribe the audio of a meeting or webinar that you record to the cloud. So make sure that one's clicked, because it's for us, it's actually not, unless we check it ourselves. And that's the one we want to click. And save panelist chat to the recording. I want that as well, but maybe you don't. Maybe you want just the transcript without the chat, then you could turn that off. But I like to keep it on, and I'm going to click and then automatically record in the cloud, and I click on save. Okay, just one more time, I'll just show you that real quick. I click on settings, I click on recording, or I click on recording, and I click on settings, either one. I scroll on down. Here are some of the things that I can consider for how I want my recording. And there's different reasons for it all. And you do whatever works for you, that's fine. But just make sure audio transcript is turned on. Once you've done that, then the rest really Zoom does for you. And so when you are finished your recording, Zoom will send you an email. Like I said, your cloud recording is available with all of the links that you need. But Zoom will also send you an email. Let's see, is this it here? Yes. And it takes a little bit longer, so that you'll get the email first for the video, and then it'll take, and then a little bit later you'll get a different email that says the audio transcript is now available, and that's it. So you wait for that part. Once you have that part in place, then you can go to your Zoom page, because let me pull my Zoom page back up for you. You can go to your Zoom page, which is this one right here. Again, you come to zoom@yorku.ca and you sign yourself in, and you come down to your recordings. Down the left-hand side, you come down to your recordings, and you come to any of your cloud recordings. So, and when you do, once you've got that email, you'll see this is your video recording, and there you can download it or you can link it. This is your audio only recording. So if you wanted it for a podcast type of thing for your students, you could download it, you could link it. This is the transcript. So that is the closed captioning or the transcript that Zoom has done, where you can download, you can link it. And then of course the chat file, and that's everything that gets tapped into the chat box. You can download or you can link it. So all of those are available for you. If you click download, it goes straight to your computer. That's the arrow with the pointing down. If you click the chain to link it, it just gives you that copied link to your clipboard that you then share with your students, either through a course announcement or through email or by posting it to a label. The audio transcript, when you click on it, I'll show you what it looks like. Let's see if it'll open up for us, or it's just going to download it for me. Okay. Won't let me open it up that way. Okay, let's go into here then. Will it let me edit it into this spot here? Yes. Okay, so because this is my video, I can actually edit the transcript right in here. So let me show you what I did there in case you're confused. I'm in my spot. I'll go back, and then we're going to take a break, and then I'm going to show you Camtasia and YouTube after the break. So real quick, I'm at Zoom York U. I sign myself in. I come to my recordings, which is on the left-hand side, and click recordings. I come to the recording I want to look at, which is my Moodle retreat. I find my piece here. Just click the video to take a look at it. I've already received my email, so I know the video is ready. I've received my email, I know the transcript is ready, and I see the transcript all down the side here, right? So I'm just going to make sure that the video is paused. Wherever I am in the transcript, see the little pen right beside it? I'm just highlighting it right here. If I click that, then I can alter or change the wording that's in there. And then I just click save and it will update it. So let's say I don't want all my okays to be in there, because I do say okay a fair bit, especially before I've drank all my morning coffee. I can just take that out and click save. And can you hear me? And I said, okay, okay again. I don't want all those okays in there. I take it out. But also what you'll see is there are some, like I've said a person's name here. Maybe I want to take that out because they don't want to be identified. I can take that out of the transcript. And there's also the part, as you see, it's fairly decent in getting together a lot of my wording and my information. The key is to speak slowly and clearly. But here's how the middle, where she works. I don't know what that sentence means. I think it's, we can listen to it to see if we want, and also here my name is spelt incorrectly, so I'll show you that one. So I mean, there are some things, although it's spelled phonetically, actually, that's really cool. And it is almost like the Spanish spelling of my name. So there we go, and I scroll myself down and I select save. So there's an opportunity here for you to make adjustments to it. And then once you've done that, it's made the adjustments in the saving, and when you go to the closed caption and you press play and it's showing the subtitles across the front of the video, it will show the updated ones that you have made based on the editing that you did by clicking the pen piece by piece on your spot. Okay, because it could take a long time to go through all of those and make sure that they're extremely accurate, I recommend a couple things. First, I recommend you tell your students that it may not be perfect, okay, but it's there as another resource, an added resource for them and for accessibility purposes. The second thing is, it's another good reason why you don't want a lecture that is an hour long or an hour and a half long or 2 hours long or 3 hours long in a recorded sense for your students. If you take that 1 hour lecture and you break it up into 3 20-minute lectures, or 4 15-minute lectures, or 2 30-minute lectures, whatever, I mean, really then what you're doing is you're providing your students with a more manageable piece for them to consume and yourself, I mean, a more manageable piece for you actually to go through to make sure the captioning is there and it works properly. Okay, 11:30. I went a little bit longer. You know, I like to sort of stop about 20 minutes in, but we went 30 minutes. That's okay. Some days are like that. We're going to pause the recording right here. We're going to take a break, our stretch. Everyone knows that. Move your eyes off the screen. Look at some real light. That's not blue light. So please, not necessarily your phone or your email. Actually take a moment, even just to stretch. We'll come back in 2 minutes. But again, we've done it again. In that first section, this is a great thing for teaching your own classes. In that first section, come at it really easy and really give your students one manageable, tangible thing that they can take away. And we did that today, right? We did one thing. We reviewed what we did last class, and then we were able to take away one skill. We've done it again. This time we now know how to get into our cloud from Moodle, or even outside of Moodle for Zoom, how to go into our settings, how to add the transcript component of it, and now how to take that transcript component and add it to the videos that we share with our students. So that's great. And then we consolidated the knowledge from last class. So well done. We'll take a break. My mic is going off. My camera is going off. And I'm going to say 2 minutes, and then we'll come back. So have a stretch, and including your eyes. And I'll see you in a few moments. So I just briefly looked at the chat room. There's a lot of action in there, so that's great. Lots of interesting questions. I'll see if I can come to a lot of those at the end as best I can. Some of you are already answering for each other, which is also really helpful. You know, sharing knowledge that we've gained along the way from our own experiences, and I appreciate that as well. And many of you will know more than me. So feel free to share if you have the answers. That's great. It's great to see us working together through this transition. So I'm going to pause now on Zoom for a few moments because I do want to show you just some of the other technologies. So that way, by the end of the retreat, I've been able to show you what I set out to do. And that was Zoom and Camtasia, and how to record inside of Moodle itself, which we've already done, and then how to do it through YouTube. So those are the things that we're going to try and get to. And there's not a lot of time left to do it, but I still think that that we can make it happen. So let's just get right back to my shared screen, and away we go. So here's my course itself, and I'm doing all the same things that we've been doing before, except now what I want to do is I want to use Camtasia or TechSmith Relay. And the thing is, I was playing around with it earlier today, as you can see on my screen. The thing with TechSmith Relay or Camtasia, you might have heard either word. It's the same thing. I think at one point in time, they were two separate companies, but then one bought out the other. I'm not sure the whole history or background. When I started teaching with it years ago, it was Camtasia, but now TechSmith is part of it as well. The relay part is how we're going to capture our lectures if we wanted to record with it and then put it up onto our Moodle site. So I would recommend that you come to this particular page here in order to get the information. So how would you do that? Well, let's go to faculty and staff home on the York webpage. So I think we can find this I'll show you how to get here. We come to yorku.ca, which is our main university website, yorku.ca. Along the top, there's a red box, quick links, and then faculty and staff home. I realized the page was very small there. My apologies for that. But again, yorku.ca, and we want to come to the faculty and staff home by using the quick links box at the top. We see faculty and staff, click on faculty and staff home. If we scroll, and there's always a faster way to do this, but I'm just showing you how to get here in case you needed the pathway. And we scroll down and we click on computing support. I'll just show you how I did that again before I go. And then here where the red box says computing at York, I'm actually just going to click on that. And now I'm in this great spot where I have access to all these wonderful services. And I'm interested in teaching and research. And I'm scrolling down my box to lecture recording at York. And I'm coming down to TechSmith Relay. And that's going to bring me to this page. I'll walk you through that one more time. Quick links, yorku.ca, quick links up at the top right, faculty and staff home, scroll down on the right-hand side, computing support. Up in this large red bar, computing at York, I'm going to click on that. And now I come to the gray toolbar, slide across to teaching and research, come on down the drop-down box to lecture recording at York, slide over and down to TechSmith Relay, and now I find myself here. Now, again, there's a much faster way to get here, but that's just in case you need help to navigate your way. Now it tells you a little bit about some of the features and how it works. Also, it tells you how you get it. So if you don't have it yet, you might want to get it. And this is the process by which you do. If you request it to go with your Moodle site, then because when you fill in the request for TechSmith Relay, it asks you which course you want to put it to. And when you also request your Moodle courses, there's always a box at the bottom for, do you want to add Camtasia or TechSmith Relay to this? And now that the courses are being automatically populated, you may have to go through this process just to ensure that they add the Camtasia TechSmith to your Moodle course. But if it is added, the nice thing is once you're finished recording, TechSmith Relay automatically puts the recording on your Moodle page for your students and keeps it in a spot right there on the Moodle page for your students. And it also creates an audio file of it and puts it on your web page for your students. So every time you do a recording, both the audio and the video version of it end up on the Moodle page directly. You don't have any additional work to do. So that can be kind of nice. Now, there's also a nice little help spot here for how do you get it and how does it work, and it is free, and here's all the questions you need to know. So that's good. The thing that you'll need to do to use it on your home computer is you actually have to download this part to it, which is the relay recorder, and on here it shows you how to do it. On this page here, it shows you how to get how to do it. You click on this button here, and there's a link that you follow to download it. Okay. Once it's downloaded to your computer, it looks just like this, and you sign in with your PPY account, so your Passport York account. Once you're signed in, you can stay signed in for 14 days. Okay, just so you know. And then when you're ready to go, you actually just press record, and it pops up in front of you to see, tells you it's going to start, and now it's recording. And for me, it's recording the actual screen. So what you're seeing right now, my screen share, that's actually what's recording. So if I had a PowerPoint slide up and I wanted to do a PowerPoint presentation for my lecture, whatever I was showing on my screen, my students would see. And with that, there's the option to have yourself in video form up in the top corner, just like right now how you see my screen, and you also see me talking at the same time. Camtasia allows for that option as well. And then when you're done, you're recording, I'm gonna pull this back up, you press stop. It's gonna finalize the presentation. There's a chance to play it back so you can see what it looks like and how it looks. Okay, right now I only have just this. I didn't put my face onto it as well. But that option is there for you. And if you like what you see here, then you just press submit, and then it finds its way directly to your Moodle course. Again, if you've signed it up through Moodle. Mine isn't signed up to any Moodle course, but the nice thing again about Camtasia is, just like Zoom, is it's going to send you an email that tells you that it's ready. So where did all my emails go? My whole screen has disappeared. Let's find out where it is. It's going to be down here. Right here, and it sends you an email, and it looks like this, and it says, hi, and your here's your link, and you click on view, and then here's the link, and here's what it looks like. And then if you press play, you'll see here now I'm just playing around with Moodle, trying to make sure that it works, seeing if I understand how it all goes. I'm logging into my Moodle, and I'm just sort of testing it out. There's the video of me speaking into the computer while I'm testing out the Passport York components and walking in, just to see if I liked it and if it recorded and how it looked when I recorded it. Okay, so and then once you have that information, so you've recorded it on Camtasia Relay by opening it up, pressing record, and starting it. You finished the recording, and you know that because they sent you an email with the link. You then went to the link by clicking on view. It took you to the link. You can always just copy that link by highlighting it, right-clicking your mouse, and selecting copy. And then if you come back to your course, you can just share that link the same way you've shared all the Zoom recordings by adding a topic. Okay. So sorry, here we are here. by adding a topic, scrolling down, sorry, twice, by adding a label and June 12th recording, click here, putting the link you want in. I'm going to take this link. I'm taping over in case you're wondering what I'm doing, but I'm going to paste the label. It's the same process that we've been going through. I'm just trying to save time for typing. And I click save and return to course. And I scroll on down to my June 12th lecture recording, and I click here, and there it is. Same is true for the URL. I could do the exact same thing. I could scroll on down. I could add an activity or resource. I could click a URL. I'm just going to edit this one because it's faster. I'm going to right click my mouse and paste the link. Make sure the appearance says embed, save and return to course. And now when I scroll on down, what I find when I click on that URL is nicely embedded directly into my Moodle is that video for Camtasia. Don't worry, you could also send it out in a message to your students and the forums. Don't worry, you'll if you've signed it up for TechSmith Relay and you've put the course name that you want it to work with, it will actually just appear directly in your course. When you come to the main section in this top here and you scroll on down, there will actually be like a right here, usually a file folder, and that file folder, it will say Camtasia, or sorry, TechSmith Relay recordings. And then you'll click there and the links for all of them will be right there for your students. So that's how we use Camtasia TechSmith if we wanted to record and then post that in. So you could definitely use that for your welcome message if you wanted to, and then you would up here put the link to it right here. You could definitely use it for your lecture recordings or as another tool. One of the challenges though with it is that you can't use the closed captioning function the same way. There's no free auto-generated closed captioning text the same way there is for Zoom. Like for Zoom, that's a free service. You just get the audio transcript by turning it on. It creates it for you. You have to edit it a little bit to get it to work perfectly. And to answer one of the questions, it's only through the York license right now, only available in English, but it's an option that's there. Same with YouTube. There's a free version of it with YouTube. With YouTube, there's more language options. Okay, just as a heads up, as we're going there right now to YouTube. For Camtasia TechSmith Relay, that option isn't there. Either you have to create your own transcript and then upload it in to go with it, and then you can put the captioning on, or you have to hire a third party to provide that service. And lots of third parties are available if you wanted perfect transcription and captioning. Okay, so I'm gonna shut those down. And now I'm going to move away. Just a reminder though, okay, so for TechSmith, if you go to quick links at the York University website, faculty, staff, and home, you scroll on down to computing support, you click on the computing at York button. We are going to, on the gray toolbar, go to teaching and research, come on down to lecture recording at York, shift on over and down to TechSmith Relay, click there. And then all your questions actually that you may have can all be answered here on how it works, how to get it, how to set it up, and even how to use it and how it works. I've just shown you just a real sort of quick taste tester, I guess, of how you may use it. I don't use it. I did for a long time, but I don't anymore. I find that between YouTube and Zoom, I just get more done that I'm looking for. Okay, YouTube. What I won't show you in this particular little lesson right here is how to record the video that comes to YouTube. What I will say is I've done this a couple times and I have lots of videos on how to do that. And maybe there might be another retreat on just that particular process. But usually what I do is I just use my phone. Let me just stop here and I just use my phone. I hold my phone up. I press the camera function on my phone. Once I press the camera function on my phone, there's another little camera in the bottom part that has 2 arrows on it. I press that one, and what it does is it uses the front-facing camera on my phone instead of the camera going out. It has the camera on the front that's now recording me. So now it's looking at my face. This is how the kids take selfies. I was okay, this is what they do. They turn the camera around by pressing that little button with the 2 arrows. So now the camera's facing at me, and I just press record, and I just then start talking. I would say, hi, welcome to the class. I'm Dr. Gennaro. I hope you enjoy the class. We meet bi-weekly or fortnightly. Other than that, it's asynchronous. I have a dog. I like to go for long walks. My favorite food is pasta. Tell me something about yourself. Let's share. Welcome to the course. Hope you have a great summer. Remember to smile, right? Be a human being. Ask them to email you if they have any questions. And then I press stop. And that's basically the process by which I record most of my YouTube videos. Then from there on my phone, I have to upload it to YouTube. That's a little bit more of a process. It's not that difficult to do, but I'm not going to take the time today to go through that particular process. If you email me, I'll send you a link to a video that I have on YouTube that's about 4 minutes long that walks you through the steps of how to do that. So just email me sgennaro@yorku.ca, and I will send that to you. So now let's just go back though to YouTube, okay? And in the last Moodle retreat that I did, I went over how to sign up for YouTube. So if you have a Google account or a Gmail account, you automatically have a YouTube account because YouTube is owned by Google. And so when you come to YouTube, it doesn't want me to send in here. Doesn't say to knock me out. Let's go. Oh my goodness me, I'm usually not locked out, but today I am. Okay, let's see how that works. Let's see if I can remember my password. Well, I have too many passwords. Yeah, see, I can't remember that one. Okay, let's try this one. No, oh my gosh. No, one more time. That's the winner. Okay, sorry, folks. And another great reminder, of course, that nothing is ever as seamless and as smooth, never as you think it's going to be when you teach online. I can't remember my own password to get into my YouTube account. That's funny. Okay, so here we are. And if I was, once I get to my YouTube, you can type in youtube.ca to get here. That could bring you here for sure. But also too, if I was in Gmail, for example, let's say I have a Gmail account and I'm in Gmail. Let's go to, I don't want to enter into my Gmail inbox, but you'll see your picture up in the top right corner for your Google account. All these boxes beside it in the top right corner, there's a circle with I think 9 little tiny dots in it. If you click on that, it shows you all the lovely things that Google owns that your Gmail account gets you access to. One of those is YouTube. So then you click on YouTube, you sign in, or you open up YouTube by going to youtube.ca or youtube.com. And then you click on your picture, your icon in the top right corner, and you click on channel. And now you're in your own YouTube channel, your own YouTube space. That video you're going to upload by clicking on the cinematic camera with the plus sign that's up at the top. And you're just going to click on upload video. And then you're going to drag and drop or click browse to select the file that you want. So you can drag and drop from your desktop onto here, click select to take the file that you want. And then you just upload it the way you normally would. Once you've uploaded your video, you'll have a list of all the videos that are on your channel that will look something like this. And so now you're saying, okay, that's great. Now, how do I share that onto my site with my students? And how do I also add captions to it? So I'm going to do both of these things in the next sort of 6 minutes. Let's try and make it happen. So the first thing is on the left-hand side here, we'll see a bunch of options. One of them is subtitles, right here, subtitles. So I want to click on that. And here are the ones that I guess I've already added some subtitles to. Okay, that's pretty cool. But let's just take a look and see. So let's do Monday, June 1st update. Then we're going to add it to this video. Okay, or we'll go back and we'll go back to our dashboard. We'll look at the videos that I have. Where's my videos? Here are my videos. Thank you. I can pick any video. It doesn't matter which one. We'll pick one and then we'll add the subtitles to it. So here we go. Week 2 update. I click on my video. Here it is. Here's my video. Now I want to add subtitles to this particular video. Let's just take a look and see if it has any right now. We'll click on play and see what happens. We'll view it on YouTube. Make sure. Okay, so there's no subtitles right now. Okay, So this is perfect. It's the perfect one for us to work on. It's me just saying hi to my students and seeing how they're doing. If I wanted to actually take this video right now and share it with my students, I would just see this button here that says share. I would just click on it and it's going to give me a nice little link here. I'm just going to select copy, and now it's been copied to my clipboard. See that? Copied to my clipboard. If I go back to my course and I come on down to where we've been sharing our lecture recordings, I can just follow the exact same process. I click on add an activity or resource. I scroll on down. I can add a label. I click add. This will say is our YouTube lecture June 12. And the nice thing about YouTube though is instead of clicking the link button, I'm going to click this piece of paper here with the cinematic camera 3 over. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to paste my link into there, and I click insert. I know the link works because it's red. I scroll down and click return to course. And once it spins its way through and updates for us, if we scroll our way down, what you're going to see here is there's our YouTube lecture. So what I like about YouTube is because of the coding, it actually embeds the image directly available to the students immediately. So I did the exact same thing as I did for the other labels. I just clicked again, add an activity or resource, scrolled on down, clicked the label. I'll just show you one more time, then I'm going to move back to YouTube and show you the closed captioning. And I typed in whatever information I wanted to type in. And then when I wanted to put my video in, instead of clicking the link like I normally did, I come over to this one right here, insert or edit audio video file, right? The piece of paper with the camera on it. Not the camera, that's what we recorded with the other day, but the piece of paper with the camera. And I just right click and I click paste and I insert media. And then again, I click return to course. And now we're going to see it twice. And the same is true if you wanted to make it a URL, you could do the same thing that we've done before, and you would paste the link there and click embed, and it would work exactly the same way so that when you went to that URL, this video was directly embedded as well. Okay, so that option is still there. But let's go back now to our YouTube video. So now we know this one has no captions. Here's the link as well. Okay, here's the link as well. I can just copy it from here if I wanted to. Or underneath it, when I'm watching it on YouTube, there's the share button where I copy the link from. So you copy the link and that's how you post it. What's important though, when we get the video that we're going to do the editing on it, so I can show you if you just found the video even just on YouTube here and you're watching your video on YouTube, I'm going to pause it. That's where I share the link from. Remember, we just did this by copying it, but directly underneath it is edit video. So I'm going to click on edit video. And now that I have my edit video, I want to make sure the visibility is unlisted. This is probably the most important piece of information. If the 3 options, private means only you can see it, nobody else. It doesn't matter. Nobody else will see it. Public means everybody can see it or anybody can see it and they can actually search to find it. But unlisted means that only the people with whom you share the link can see it. Okay, so consider your audience. If you're having students record YouTube videos, always have them make it unlisted. Okay, insist on that. Okay, now, we scroll, so now it's time just to do some editing. So we're gonna add some subtitles. So on the left, you see here it is, over here on the left, subtitles. Click on subtitles. And it's going to say, okay, I want to add them. Yeah. Oh, wait, sorry, that's the wrong button. Why? It's already showing that I have some here. English automatic, published by creator. Have I already done this? Okay. Let's open them up then, if I've already done them. Let's edit them. What? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to pause for 1 second. And just give me 1 second. I just have to close this screen so I can open something up. Pardon me for 1 second. Sorry about that. The reason why I had to turn off the recording, I had to turn off the screen is because I had to look at something inside of YouTube that had some personal information that I did not want to display and share. And I didn't want to take the chance that it was going to display and share that information of not just myself, but some of my students from some of the projects and videos that we've been working on. So I just had to shut it all down. Now you see my screen, which is good. And so I'm just going to I'm picking a different video, and the one that I'm going to pick doesn't have stuff already on it because that's how yours will be. And that way it will make more sense because the other one has some other stuff. And so I don't want to make it more distracting for you. So here's the video. There's the link. It's unlisted. And we come down the side here and we click on subtitles. When you click on subtitles, it's going to ask you to set the language. Okay, so because you don't have any yet, when I click on set language, I'm going to scroll to the language that I want. I haven't worked with any language other than English Canada because that's just what I work with. So it's worth exploring for yourselves how that works if you teach in different languages or want that option. I click on confirm, and now here we go. I have my subtitles. So what I want to do now is I want to take a look at those and see what it looks like. So I click on it and it opens up for me. And now here's my subtitles section. I'm just going to pause the video so we don't hear the talking. And I have a couple options. One is to edit. Okay. And then to do that, once I click on edit, it's going to allow me to make changes to the text, just like in Zoom, by coming in here and typing up whatever changes I want. I'm going to make a change because I can already see that the course has the wrong name. So I'm just going to put humanities right there, and then I'm going to click Save Changes. Once I've saved my changes, it's going to take me back to a page that looks like this and tell me that my subtitles have been published, which is awesome, which is what I want. But there's two types here. There's the automatic, which is the one that they created. And then there's the one that's underneath it, which is the edit that I made. I want the edit that I made. That's the one that I want. And I just wanted to come to take a look at it. And I can see that the edit has been corrected because it's got my proper piece. And I can see that it's published because it says unpublished here. I don't want to do that. I definitely want to keep it the way that it is. So that means I'm ready to go. Actually, that's really all you need to do. So I'll show you that again. But once you're ready to go, you click return to your YouTube studio. And then what you'll have here is you're back to where you started. I go to my, I want to look at this video. So I'm going to go down to my video, and there's the March 14th update. This is the video that we were looking on. Okay. There's the link for it that I can share with my students. So I'm just going to copy it in a second. It's unlisted. Okay, that's good. I scroll down just to walk you back through. I click subtitles. I already selected the language. Then it brought me, then I made my change. And now I see I have both an automatic, which is the one that they created, but then I have this one here, published by this is the one that I published, that I want to be using right here. Published by creator, June the 12th. This is the one that I want. Boy, oh boy. Click on it. Takes me to a spot. I can edit it if I want to edit it. I don't want to edit it. All right. Return to YouTube Studio. I might be confusing you because I'm clicking buttons, but I hopefully am making it more clear. I just want to show you how to get to all the same spots. Okay, I click on YouTube videos, and I gotta go because I've already got a time because I'm at my limit. And I scroll on down to March 14th, and this is our video. And now let's watch it. Let's just see what it looks like on YouTube, because I have to show you one thing in case it doesn't work. Here's our video when it loads. Okay, so the volume is, I click on CC or close cap, and what we'll see is here we go. It's actually working. I know that because it's already there, and I can see them, which is great. The problem with this though is it didn't start automatically. So why didn't it start automatically? Well, if I click on edit video and I scroll down to the bottom, there's a spot here that says tags. Okay, I want to add a tag here. And what I want to add into this tag, this is important, is Y, capital Y, T, colon, CC equals ON. So YouTube, closed caption equals on. Then I press enter, and now that tag is there. And I just come up here to save. I click on save. Changes have been saved. I go back to my video and let's take a look now. It should start automatically. Here we go. So now it automatically starts. So click on the share button because I want to copy this link. I'm going to copy the link. It's been copied now to my clipboard, and now I'm ready to share it with my students. Just going to show you one more time in the edit video section, just a reminder. It's an unlisted video. In the text section down here, I put capital YT, so YouTube, colon, CC equals ON on, and pressed enter. And now that means that those closed captionings start automatically. Now, if I come back to my Moodle page and I click add an activity or resource, and I scroll on down and I add a label, and I click add to that label, and I put YouTube lecture June 13. And I come to this piece of paper with the cinematic camera on it because it's a YouTube video, and I paste the link and I insert it. I know the link is working because it's turned red, and I click save and return to course. Thank you, David. And I scroll on down. What I'm going to see now is the video that we just did. And when I press play, let's make sure it works. There we go. And so now it actually has the subtitles in there for the students viewing. And if they click to the large screen, they see it with the subtitles actually built in and embedded to the course. Okay. Folks, I think that's about all the time I'm going to have for today. So it's the 3-day retreat, I think, comes to a close. I will try to come back to these questions a little bit later and answer them by email if I can, because I have to go to another meeting that started at 12, so that I'm already late for. But I wanted to finish that task so I could show it to you before we were done. I will talk to the Associate Dean about setting up another retreat coming forward with some more ideas. Please feel free to send me emails about what you want those retreats to look like and the things that we can do in them. And I will continue to try and help. But if you followed along for the last 3 days, you've learned how to get the template, how to take the template and put it into your course, how to merge it if you had an existing course to merge it with, how to then go in there, record a welcome message using the video function, how to go to YouTube and record a video and then embed that video instead, how to use Camtasia to record a video, how to put closed captioning on your YouTube video or your Zoom video, how to set up a Zoom meeting, how to embed that Zoom meeting into your course, how to go to the cloud component of the Zoom, how to turn on the audio transcript, how to add that audio transcript to your recording, and of course, how to share all that information with our students with a label, with a URL, or with a course forum. Okay, so we'll do some more fun stuff, I promise. And thank you very much for all the kind words, everyone. Again, sgennaro@yorku.ca. I'm here now in the Dean's office to support you and to help you with the transition. So send me your questions about, and especially the ideas of the things that you'd like to see for upcoming Moodle retreats. And I will try to answer these questions that are in the chat I didn't get to today, but also to include them in the next ones going forward. Good luck with your course building, and good luck with your summer teaching for those of you who are teaching, and thanks for coming to the retreat. Bye, everyone.